In the mountains of West Virginia sits the town of Williamson. Located along the Tug Fork branch of the Big Sandy River and established in 1895, the town of Williamson was largely the result of the vast amounts of coal in the area. Becoming the county seat of Mingo County in 1905, the early development of Williamson was stimulated by the Norfolk and Western Railroad, which began laying tracks in 1901 and further expanded by building an extensive rail yard in the town in order to accommodate and transport the large amounts of coal out of the area. By 1925 alone, the coal fields in the area had produced about 8 million tons of coal, which led Williamson to proclaim itself as the heart of the billion-dollar coal field. A grand hotel, a theater, and numerous department stores were built to cater to the needs of the citizens and visitors alike. In order to pay homage to the important coal industry, the Coal House Museum, made from 65 tons of coal, was built in 1933. From the 1930s to the 1950s, the population of Williamson had grown and prospered as the mines and the railroads needed the workers to sustain the heavy workload. However, the late 1950s saw those jobs slowly decline, and the population of Williamson began to decline as well. In 1977, Williamson suffered an immense tragedy when on April 5th, the Tug River rose and flooded the town, with many homes and businesses under 30 to 50 feet of water. With damages exceeding $200 million and the loss of thousands of homes and businesses, a public outcry led to a flood wall being erected around Williamson in 1991 at a cost of $45 million. Throughout its history of coal mining, railway activities, and natural disasters, it was important that a hospital be available to care for the citizens of Williamson. The first Williamson Hospital was established in 1918, and it was accompanied by a nursing school that was built nearby in 1920. The hospital was professionally staffed, and it attended to the sick and wounded of the community until a fire on January 12, 1927, completely destroyed the hospital. Remarkably, all 33 patients in the hospital during the fire survived, thanks to the quick action of orderlies and hospital staff, many of whom had to jump from third-story windows to mattresses thrown on the ground below. However, not to be deterred, a new hospital was quickly built, and it opened on March 2, 1928. This new state-of-the-art hospital was chartered and led by the partnership of Dr. Connolly and Dr. Sultan. Throughout its history, Williamson Hospital treated patients for all manner of ailments, accidents, and tragedies, and it was therefore the site of many deaths as a result. By the mid-2000s, the hospital began to feel the financial strain of treating more and more patients without insurance or government assistance, and in 2017 it was declared insolvent. The doors officially closed in 2020, and it was privately purchased by the current owners, who opened the location for public and paranormal tours. Due to its fascinating history and its paranormal claims, Soul Sisters Paranormal traveled to Williamson, West Virginia, to determine for ourselves if the old hospital on College Hill really is haunted.
Did you hear that down the hallway? Yeah. This whole place is getting kind of starting to wake up a little bit.
Thank you.
Can you see us? Take it to yellow again if you can see us.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can you tap the light 3 times to verify that you can see us, please? Just 1, 2, 3. Is that possible? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
There it is.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was good. I didn't expect that, truth be told.
Prior to our overnight investigation of the old hospital on College Hill, Jenny and I were met by one of the owners, Tanya, who gave us a detailed tour of this former state-of-the-art hospital, which included a ride on the original, still-working elevator. We were shown the basement where the radiology department was once held, along with pediatrics, and we then toured the other 4 hospital floors, with Tanya describing the history as well as paranormal claims. Some of those claims include hearing disembodied voices, seeing shadow figures, and being physically touched by things unseen. Since Dr. Sultan was also a licensed veterinarian who treated animals inside of the hospital, the reports of hearing animal sounds such as cats and horses is also a frequent claim. Another claim from paranormal investigators is that they interact with the spirit of a man named Mose Blackburn. Mose was accused of killing a law enforcement officer, and he was injured during that shootout. While in the hospital being treated, he ran from his hospital room and jumped out of a 3rd-floor window. While he died soon after from his injuries, his spirit is said to still roam the halls near the window from which he had jumped. After we were given a detailed tour from Tanya, Jenny and I started setting up our stationary equipment that we would leave running throughout the night. We had numerous stationary cameras and voice recorders set up on all levels of the hospital, including the basement where the spirits of children have been seen and heard, and where doors have been seen opening and closing on their own. We let the stationary camera and voice recorder to cover the 4th-floor pharmacy area. We left the stationary camera, voice recorder, and motion sensor light in the hallway where Mose Blackburn is said to have been seen. And we left stationary cameras, voice recorders, and other motion sensor lights in various hallways throughout the building. After we finished setting up all of our stationary equipment, we grabbed some handheld equipment and started our investigation. The start of this investigation was challenging for us as a tremendous storm hit the area and wind gusts were reported to be up to 60 miles an hour for the first couple hours of the investigation. But while the wind battered the outside of the building, our night of investigating got underway. We first headed down to the basement where the spirits of children are said to play throughout the halls and where doors have been seen opening and closing on their own. We started an EVP session in this long basement hallway in an attempt to communicate with any spirits that wanted to make their presence known.
Were you born here?
What would you like us to tell people about this place?
What would you like us to tell people about you?
Do you like it when people come to visit you?
Throughout our night of investigating, we conducted several Facebook Lives so that our audience could ask questions during some of our EVP sessions. During one of those sessions, we had a K2 meter sitting inside of a 3rd-floor room while we stood outside in the hallway approximately 10 feet away. Some of the responses that we captured on this EMF meter during that session were extremely interesting.
If you were a patient, can you light that green light again?
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. That takes a lot of energy.
Are you female? If you're female, would you mind lighting that green light up again, please? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Are you a child? Are you an adult?
Thank you.
So adult female, who's a patient here? Interesting.
Is that where you feel the safest? In that room? All right, let me re-ask. Okay, thank you. All right, you feel safe in that room. Okay.
Are you getting this on?
I am.
There's more footsteps.
Oh, man, I know it. This went to a creep factor of 10 in like 4 seconds. Are you in that room by yourself then? Touch that green light for us one more time. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're doing great, and we really appreciate this. Okay. Did you have a baby here? The hell is that?
Do you hear it?
That's a door.
I know.
That's a door shutting.
Did you have a baby in this hospital?
This was the maternity ward. Did you have a baby here?
Was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Tanya just confirmed it.
Oh. There's a spike.
Do you feel safe here? Do you feel safe in that room? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good. That gives us comfort that you feel safe there.
There's a knock down the hallway, y'all.
Do you ever come out of that room? I'm getting goosebumps. So you never come out, you just stay in there?
Were you the one that said hi to Tanya? Did you say hello to her when she was up here? If that was you, could you please spike that green light again?
All right, thank you. Were you the one that said hello to us earlier tonight?
Yep.
All right, thank you. If you had a baby here, did you give the baby up? Did you have to give the baby up? You did. Okay. Thanks for that question, Tina. Can you see us? Take it to yellow again if you can see us.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can you tap the light 3 times to verify that you can see us, please? Just 1, 2, 3. Is that possible? 2, 3. Thank you.
There it is.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
You're fantastic. Thank you.
That was good. I didn't expect that, truth be told.
Throughout the remainder of the night, we conducted numerous EVP sessions in all areas of the hospital, along with using various pieces of equipment in an attempt to communicate with the spirits that are said to roam this historic hospital. After about 8 hours of investigating, we packed up for the evening and started to review the stationary audio and video equipment that we left running during the night. During the review, we captured several pieces of data that we cannot explain. During our setup for the investigation on the third floor of the hospital, I was setting up a stationary voice recorder when we captured the following male voice that we did not hear in the moment. We will play this clip 3 times so that you may attempt to hear it.
Second voice recorder on the 4th floor, down at the end by the Yi camera. Second voice recorder on the 4th floor. Second voice recorder on the 4th floor.
It seems like the spirits were very active during our setup because another EVP was captured during our equipment setup outside of the room from which most Blackburn ran before jumping out of a 3rd floor window. During our equipment setup, we were deciding where to place a motion-activated light when the following male voice was captured. Again, we did not hear this in the moment. We will play this clip 3 times so that you may attempt to hear it.
Or, I want in that doorway. We're going to do catty corner. Kid that walks. Could be catty corner. Yeah. Good idea. Good idea. Good idea.
The remaining unexplained audio and video that we captured during the night were done so on our stationary equipment, which means we were not present during the times of these captures. At one point during the night, the audio recorder left on the 3rd floor hallway captures what sounded like a loud bang with a male voice saying an expletive. At another point during the night, Jenny and I were walking up the stairway between the floors when a stationary voice recorder left in the hallway outside of Most Blackburn's room captured the following male voice. This next piece of audio is interesting to us, and it's also captured on the voice recorder outside of Mose's room. It's faint, so it may be difficult to hear, but to us it sounds like a dog panting. While there were no animals in the hospital that night, phantom animal sounds have been reported as Dr. Sultan would routinely treat animals inside of this hospital. Along with phantom animal sounds, our stationary voice recorders also captured the sounds of what we believe are hospital room alarms. Twice during the night, the stationary audio recorders on both the 3rd and the 4th floors captured the following alarms. Another unexplained audio capture that occurred during the night was the sound of a woman singing. To us it sounds like it starts in the middle of the hallway and then proceeds to walk down that hallway. We have no explanation as to who or what caused this singing. As a caveat, this singing was captured during the windstorm, but it is clearly not the sound of the wind, as you can hear that in the background. The final piece of paranormal data that we captured during the night was visual, and it occurred in the basement of the hospital. During our setup, we noticed that there was a green ball left behind by another paranormal investigation team. The ball was left beside a wall, and we didn't really pay much attention to it. For example, you can see us walk down the hallway and we pass right by it, and it doesn't move. However, twice during the night, the ball does roll on its own. The first is just a back and forth motion, while the second time it moves back and forth twice. While we considered the wind, nothing else in the hallway such as debris or dust is moved during this time, and the wind would make the ball roll in one direction rather than back and forth. To us, this is a very interesting piece of video. In the mountains of West Virginia sits an old hospital that at one point served an essential function within a community where the main industry of coal mining was always fraught with danger. The healthcare delivered within the walls of this building was state-of-the-art, and the citizens of Williamson relied on the medical staff for all manner of treatment, from pediatric care to emergency services to geriatric care. But while the hospital cared for the citizens of Williamson, the declining and impoverished population could not help sustain the financial burdens of the hospital, and a valuable community resource was lost. However, today the hospital is providing new and unique sources of revenue and exposure to this mountain town, and it seems like the spirits of the old hospital on College Hill are doing their part to ensure that this historic building, as well as this community, will never be forgotten.